As the clock ticks toward the legalization of marijuana, police forces in Saskatchewan are taking a closer look at their pocketbooks. CTV's Stephanie Villella on what resources they might need and at what cost.
This year, that's when the Liberal government is planning to legalize marijuana. And if they hit the summer deadline they set, there are only a few months left for police services across the country to prepare for legislation.
We will be ready as a police force to do the enforcement part of it, but financially, it's still something that's unknown.
Police services in the province are trying to figure out the dollars and cents of training and enforcement. Saskatoon Police has set up an internal committee to look at steps that are needed to prepare, while Prince Albert Police are using a service in Ontario as a guideline. York Regional Police has estimated 2% of the budget will go towards training costs.
So they looked at things like increased case loads for impaired driving, impaired by drug, whatever operational increase they will see in offending. And they added on to that all the training costs, and that's where they arrived at the amount that was going to be required to address the legislation.
Using York's formula, Cooper says it will cost the city of Prince Albert more than $300,000 in training and additional enforcement. But he says it is still unknown what funding the province or the federal government will provide. That's why the Saskatoon Police Service hasn't drafted a budget yet.
We know that the federal government has pledged a certain amount of money for training for police officers, so we're waiting to see how that's allocated, how it works out.
The money will go towards training officers on how to determine drug impairment. But criminal defense lawyer Ron Pichet says it may not be that easy.
Can you determine or at least limit the degree of impairing effect? And I'm not quite sure of that. The point is, we just don't know, and it's so dependent on tolerance that there's going to be issues with all that.
Police say there is still a lot to do before legalization. They say they will do what they can to make sure they are ready for when marijuana becomes legal. Stephanie Villella, CTV News, Prince Albert.